Hi, and welcome back to Blue's Garden. This is my end of season cleanup. Cleaning up outdoors, maybe a little bit of planting. One of the things I do at the end of season cleanup is actually I plant one final batch of lettuce. This may get harvested outside or I may bring it inside at a certain point. But I started out with some super red romaine. I did some little gem butterhead lettuce. And I also did some Paris Island Cause. Now, these lettuces may fully mature outside. If not, I'll bring them into the basement. It's cool downstairs in the basement, and I have some grow lights there. And I'll show you in a video coming up, but I've actually also started a indoor batch as well. So all winter long, I always have fresh lettuce that I'm growing. This is the Paris Island Cause. I was mentioning the Paris Island Cause romaine. In addition to some lettuces, I am also planting some microgreens. Now, this batch of microgreens that you see me planting here, I will actually plant, even though I'm outside planting it, I'll actually bring this batch indoors, and you'll see the batch that I do outdoors. As you notice, I will put the seeds in and then do a very, very light layer of some light, fluffy, actually it's a seed starter, on top. This is the microgreen mix that I will leave outside to grow. These greens, some of them can do very well with a cool frost. Some of them struggle, but this is the last batch of outdoor that I'll be growing. And like I mentioned, I already have some that I'm going to do indoors. This is a couple of, almost a week later when you start to see some of the greens coming up. Some of the lettuces coming in. The microgreens are filling in nicely around that celery, the last of my celery. The lettuces are coming in nicely. As I mentioned, I have one last celery growing outdoors. And then you can see the greens. The garlic beds now have a layer of straw on top to put them to bed for the winter. Just checking to make sure it's a nice thick layer and that nothing's in there digging around. So far, so good. I have a huge garden, and you've seen over the years that I do everything in fabric grow bags. Well, at the end of the winter, end of the growing season, I tend to, about half of them, maybe a little more than half, get put away. The soil gets combined and refreshed in bigger piles. But I will sort through the bags now. In the 25-gallon grow bags, I will put all of the sizes in. So I'll sort them by, my sizes are 5-gallon, which is 18 liter, 7-gallon, 26 liter, the 10-gallon, which is 37, 38 liters, and the 25-gallon, which is about 95 liters or so. I sort them all so that come spring, it's easy to know which size goes where. And I plant based on what kind of seed goes in the size. Couple of last buds on the tomato. I actually picked them all off. I will pick the last of the tomato. These are moonbeam. I did have a couple of plum tomatoes that I picked as well. The San Marzano, that's the last of them. We're getting frosts and freezes the next few nights, so might as well get them off now. Grab the last of the remaining pear tomato, those moonbeam pear. Got a bunch. I planted 4, 5, 6, 7, I think, 7 plants. And I got a lot. I will probably cut back, maybe do a few more sweetie instead of the moonbeam. They make for a nice color, but I don't need all of that. And they were very prolific. The moonbeam was very prolific. Nice little harvest for the day of the moonbeam. My golden sweet pea coming in nicely. They do okay with the cooler temperatures as well. I'm going to grab some because I'm cooking up a little stir fry tonight, so I'll grab a handful of those and put them in the stir fry. Now, even over winter, I think I'll probably end up just leaving these in the pots. I mean, the nitrogen might as well stay, any of the roots, the nitrogen that's fixed by the roots. Just leave them in the pots, and then come spring, I'll cut them off. The tops will cut off. That'll go in my compost pile, and I'll leave the roots to underground. Like I said, a handful of the sweet pea that I'm going to end up in my stir fry. This is the harvesting the last of my bunching onion. I have both Tokyo long white and red beard bunching, and I went through, harvested both kinds, and there you go. That's a handful of bunching onion. I use this as both fresh and I actually dehydrate, since I have so much of it, dehydrate it. I will add the onion back into soups and stews, and when I'm cooking roasts and stuffing or something like that, I'll use these onions, the dehydrated onion, all winter long. Decent batch, this last batch of red beard bunching. Red beard bunching on top, the white Tokyo long white on the bottom. And then dehydrated. I ended up with 3 jars of each, 3 of the red and 3 of the white. And it was actually, I think, 2 of the white and 3 of the red. And one of the joys at the end of the season is filling my compost bins. I collect a lot of leaves, nothing that's close to the road, only the stuff that's on my lawn. I don't do any weed treatment at all or fertilizer on my lawn. The less green grass I have, the happier I am. So I will run the mower over and grind down whatever leaves are on top of any of my grass, and take the shredded leaves into my compost bins, empty any of my planters into my compost bins, so there's some dirt in there. There's the carbon of the leaves, and then any of the green stalks will go in as well. Say goodnight to the garden for the winter. Please like, share, and subscribe. It helps me grow, and that helps you grow.